Taylor Swift wore your skirt?
Yep, I'm still dead.
No big deal.
Still dead. They made a video and said that they're gonna go bash my face in tonight with my address in the video. I literally think I'm gonna die.
If there was someone born on the wrong side of the internet, it must be Blogalotti's Cassey Ho. At one point, you were quote-unquote canceled by your own fandom. Killed at her meetup.
Dad, why did you do this to Cassey?
Despite being one of the most well-known fitness creators, got Taylor Swift to wear her skirt. Passed 1 million orders on Shopify. One of Forbes' top influencers. The 25 most influential people on the internet by Times. Hit over 4 billion views. Covered by Good Morning America, The Today Show, People, Cosmopolitan. Created a successful app and 2 8-figure businesses, Popflex and Blogalotti's, that's crushing it in Target. But somehow she got canceled by her own fan base for getting fit.
She died right when my address was leaked. Why are you so fat? Like, ew.
Created multiple viral products only to be duped by not just Shein, but also billion-dollar corporate giants like Nordstrom.
The big multi-billion-dollar corporations, they're duping my stuff.
No. Welcome to the Marketing Bestie podcast, where we dive into branding, business, and creative strategy with the smartest founders, CMOs, and culture shapers to help you and your business unlock your unlimited potential. All resources are linked below. This is truly a masterclass in how to build a brand that even Taylor Swift cannot resist.
I'm never going to create something unless
how to rebrand yourself from quote-unquote canceled influencer to entrepreneur. You even edited out the word influencer.
Ooh, how did you notice that?
Build a business empire without any funding. What were the early indicators that he's going to make a great lifetime partner?
It's not who you can live with, it's
and how to rise above bullying, betrayal, and burnout, not just from the internet, but from multi-billion corporations.
I suck at everything. I should just give up. Guess what? I'm still talking about it.
Blogalotti's built 2 8-figure businesses, and it all started with one YouTube video intended for 40 people. So never underestimate the power of your browser. And for me, my Opera browser is the key to my content business by being a free digital assistant. Aria, Opera's free built-in AI tool, easily accessed with Command/ or Control/, comes with a writing mode to help me write any text, including title ideas for this video. It saves me all the hours checking for grammatical mistakes and polishing. And when it comes to image generation, I used to pay $30 a month to use AI to brainstorm thumbnails, which I can easily do anytime now with Opera for free. I just provide a simple prompt and Aria creates the image from scratch. Perfect for thumbnails, mood boards, or even wallpapers. And if I upload an image, Aria can even understand it and give me answers or ideas, like reverse image search, but smarter. I can also use tab commands in Aria's command line to close all YouTube tabs. Tab islands are a game changer. Group tabs by project like research or shopping and open or collapse them when needed. And if I'm spending 10+ hours working online every day, why not make the experience appealing? I personalize my Opera with the most beautiful themes like my favorite Midsummer. So it's time to level up your browser game while learning about branding. Just click the link in the description and get started today for free. Cassey, welcome.
Thank you.
On paper, we all know you've built this extremely successful personal brand and Popflex that we all love.
This is nice!
Which I'm currently wearing.
You are in
skirt,
the
the
ASIM
jacket.
pleated skirt and the fleece jacket. You look so good in your cream. You even placed a bottle here. I see that.
It's the color coordination. It's all the branding. I'll read you some impressive stats about yourself. You have over 10 million subscribers with over 4 billion views on YouTube.
I love Blogalotti's 1,000,000 out of 10. Real results. Great workouts. I've been doing since 8th grade and I'm 17 now.
Name one of the most influential people on the internet by Times. Taylor Swift wore your skirt.
I am literally dying right now. I'm dying right now.
Yep, I'm still dead.
No big deal.
Still dead.
And you hit over 1 million orders on Shopify. Also no big deal.
I sold this lighting out in just a few hours.
And you're crushing it on Target.
Yeah, it's been hard. It's been really hard, but yes.
That's amazing. The reason I brought all these impressive stats up is that there seems to be another side of the story that not many people get to see. You were experiencing basically the ugliest sides of both the influencing world and entrepreneurship at different points in your life.
Mhm.
And at one point, you were quote unquote canceled by your own fandom. And to be able to rebrand from a very difficult situation like that, being misunderstood, to building two very successful 8-figure businesses is a very astounding and intriguing story that so many people, including myself, I'm just like ready to take notes on.
Well, let's talk about it.
Let's do it. Walk me back to when you first started Blogilates in 2009, right?
Yeah.
How did you envision the brand to be? Or like, was branding even part of the thought process?
What's so funny is that, like, back in 2009, I don't think people were talking about brands the way they talk about it now. I, like, barely even, like, thought about everything was a business or a company, not, like, a brand. Like,
Mhm.
literally last night, I was at the airport at LAX, and this young girl comes up to me, and she's like, "Hi, I love your brand." And it's like, and that's not the first time. Like, I've had many people say, "Are you the girl with the brand?" Like, what? Like, it's so interesting. That's not about the business that people see, it's about the brand. Anyway, no, in 2009, I was uploading one YouTube video for 40 students at 24 Hour Fitness because I was moving from LA to the East Coast for my first job. And it was literally meant for them, those 40 people, to do anytime they missed me and they wanted to do pop Pilates, which is my format at the time, Pilates to pop music, which nobody else was doing.
Right.
And then, more than 40 people watched it. There were thousands of views and hundreds of comments. And I just kept listening to the comments. They were like, okay, well, make a butt version, make an ab version. And then so I did. And then Blogilates, which really the screen name was just me, like, liking blogging and liking Pilates. I was like, Blogilates, that's my screen name. There wasn't like that much thought behind it.
Uh-huh.
And now it's like a brand at Target. Like that's like the craziest thing. But the intention was not to create a brand. The intention was to serve my students. And it's interesting because these days with Popflex and Blogilates, it's still about serving. Maybe it's not fitness videos or Pilates classes, but it's design and problem solving through apparel and products. Can someone tell me why, when girls wear dresses, we have to bend like this? But that intention has always set me in the right direction.
Wow. I think that speaks volume to what creates a good brand, because when your brand is focused on serving other people, everything else comes. And as long as you keep on serving and staying true to your North Star, that's what makes a truly sustainable brand. So props to you for figuring that out intuitively.
Yeah. I had an interview yesterday and the person was asking me, like, oh, what would you tell creators when they want to start something? I'm like, well, you got to believe in it first.
Can't believe this is real. In just 2 days, I'm gonna have a clothing line at Target.
My North Star, my guiding thing with product is I'm solving a problem. I'm never going to create something that's already been done unless I can do it better, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why when I make content about my products, there's always something to talk about because there was so much thought put into the product before that content piece is coming out 1.5 to 3 years later.
Am I crazy? Or did I make this legging in 1,075 different options because I love you?
All my talking points years later were already concepted many years before.
Wow.
And so that's why the business has grown, or the brand has grown,
Yeah,
because there's so much soul behind every product.
I could tell.
And every product is literally my baby. So, and I'm sure we'll get into all this stuff, but
Yes.
when it comes to dupes and all those things, like, it hurts me to my core because these are things that, like, came out of my body and my brain and my heart. And it's very different than a larger company. For example, I see like a lot of Lululemon dupes, a lot of Free People dupes, like everywhere alongside like the Popflex dupes. But who is the face behind those really large multi-billion-dollar, I'm guessing, corporations? You don't know. Was that product created by a team of designers? Like maybe not. I don't know. But every product that comes out of Popflex begins usually with my sketch on a notepad. 37 weeks ago, I attempted to make the perfect legging.
As the years went on, I heard that you guys wanted different variations.
And so when it gets stolen, it really feels like someone's stealing a piece of me. That's why it hurts so much.
I think the beautiful part about how you show the whole entire process and how every product comes from a problem and from a simple sketch is that your community feels part of this identity that you created. And every time something gets stolen, they feel something's like jabbed at their identity too.
Yeah.
And I feel that too. I felt so angry. I'm like, how dare she and how dare that
Yeah.
like large brand do that to Cassey? Yeah, just crazy. We'll talk about this more, but it really shows from a consumer side point of view. I feel the heart and the care poured into every single design because when I wear it, I'm like, she really thought about the smallest details that no other brand would think about.
Giving you 1,075 different options.
But as a fashion girly and as a girl who works out and loves moving my body, I'm like, oh, she really thought it through from every single angle to every single position I'm going to put my body in to like, how will this make me feel when I move? How will this make me feel when I sweat? So huge props to you.
I'm also solving the problem for myself. So like I get it. Like I like know that like an extra quarter inch over here or extra length of it, like it matters so much because I've lived that life. And since way before 2009, I think I started doing like taking group fitness classes probably like, I don't know, let's say early 2000s or something like that, whatever.
Wow.
I have worn almost every single activewear brand out there. I've had brands send me stuff as, you know,
True.
as the channel grew and I became quote unquote an influencer, whatever. Like I have tried every activewear brand out there. And so I know what works and what doesn't. And so when it came to making my own stuff, have done the market research on my own body. But then it gave me a place to really think about, well, how can it be improved from there? Yeah.
I think it's the most unplanned and organic form of marketing that you documented your fitness journey throughout all these years since 2009 and you tested out personally all these different type of apparels and know the certain like problem points for each piece. Such a great lesson in how everything works out, even though you didn't even plan on it, but all the dots connect retrospectively.
And it's interesting that the dots connect because sometimes people will be like, oh, well, did you plan? Did you plan to start a channel? Did you plan to start a community? And then did you plan to sell them stuff? Like, no, I didn't. I literally said in 2009, I put up a video for 40 people so they could do my workouts when I was on the East Coast. Like, that's it. But the intention, the heart has always brought me to the right destination. No matter how windy or painful, it's always gotten me to the right place.
So walk me back to the Blogilates age where you were trying to solve a problem for a community of people who were trying to get their workout in, right?
So I got trained in classical Pilates.
Mm.
Usually no music, very slow movements, like beautiful. I've always loved Pilates.
No music.
Well, usually back in the day, like it was just like in the background, just like elevator music, basically. It wasn't like a thing.
You were a forerunner in creating the Pilates culture in a sense, or
Well-
transforming it to make it more fun.
Because I love dance. 3 things that really relax me are diving, dancing, and deep tissue massages. So
Yeah.
having music with your workout, you're no longer like counting reps, you're just moving to the beat. And so for me, it was like something that I just did. Like I remember back in high school before I started teaching Pilates, I would just put on a song and be like, okay, well, I'm going to finish this song to like this movement. And sometimes I would go slow to the beat. I would go fast to the beat, like whatever I was doing. And so without thinking, I was creating a format. That's just how I taught my classes. And then later realize, oh, that's a format, much like how you start, I start a channel and then, oh, whoops, later it's a brand, I guess. Like, so the problem is that, well, there's a bunch of problems with fitness. Sometimes when girls go to the gym, they don't feel comfortable, especially like in the weight area. There's a lot of men, they're looking at you. Maybe you don't know what you're doing. And that's fine, but people judge you. And so then it doesn't feel fine, So working out from home made it very accessible for people to get started because that's how I got started with Pilates. I was watching Mari Windsor DVDs in my bedroom and I was like doing leg lifts and I just like loved it. I did like the same like 20 or 30 minute routine every single night and I just loved it so much. And then years later when I met Mari Windsor, I told her what an influence she had on my life and wanting to become a Pilates instructor. So that was a super full circle moment that happened several years after I started teaching Pilates. But anyway, accessibility, building confidence in your own room at home, because I've also met girls who started with Blogilates, free workouts at home, who are now fitness competitors, like on the stage, like super ripped, like very low body fat percentage. And they're like lifting super crazy heavy. But you have to build confidence with the equipment, with your body, and like have an understanding of your body. And of course, with the music, it just makes it fun because if you're not having fun, what are we doing, right?
So
Whether
true.
it's in workouts, in relationships, in your career, in life, if you're not having fun, literally, what is the point? There is no point. You should be smiling. You should be happy. And so I remember always walking into class. Doesn't matter if I've had a bad day. Every time after I walk outside of class, I'm lifted. My spirits are
Mm.
lifted. I'm sweaty, but I'm excited and I'm happy. So it's something that that joy that you get from fitness is really special. It's like a pick me up and medicine all at the same time. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Hmm.
And I love the ripple effect you had on different generations of women that are taking something they learned from you onto their own separate individual journeys. And I
Mm.
think that's the beauty of creativity, where you get to impact and kind of share a common growth journey with someone. And then everyone else, eventually they take on to their own paths. But it's just such a beautiful feeling to share a communal moment together.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. You did Plug-a-Lotties, right? For a moment? Like, when did you find me?
I did at-home workouts.
Yeah.
At one point, I was classified as a fitness influencer, and I was like, "Huh?" I just loved working out. I
Yeah.
loved being able to move my body at home and doing these fitness challenges,
Uh-huh.
especially during COVID. So that was a
Yeah.
big moment where I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, I don't need to hit the gym. I can at least do something at home."
Yeah.
And to be able to document that and share that with other girls who are on their fitness journey
Uh-huh.
just to get healthier and so on with different goals, I think was such a fun experience.
Yeah. Very cool.
So when did comments started coming in? And I would assume at first it was all positive and very like uplifting environment. But as anybody, especially women on the internet, we get a lot of excessive attention
Mhm.
because a lot of people tend to project things onto us
Mhm.
and tend to misunderstand our intentions. So I was wondering if you had any specific moments where you were being misunderstood on the internet or like negativity started flowing
Mhm.
in.
Yeah. So I remember when I posted my first video, I was afraid somebody was going to be like, "Oh my God, look at her form. Her toes aren't even pointed. Her legs aren't even straight." I don't think I have ever once gotten a comment about my form. The first negative comment I got was about my body, and it hurt so much because I grew up with so much judgment around my body. I'm Vietnamese and Chinese,
Mhm.
and as you know, like there's a lot of like family members just talk about your weight like it's nothing, but
In Asian culture,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like very normal.
very normal.
It's actually kind of, I don't know if you could call this love, but it's directness. It's like, hey, you got fat.
Yeah.
When you're actually just like putting on a little bit more weight.
Yeah, and but then they also, like, get offended if you don't eat more. So it's just like,
It's
"What?"
very confusing.
So I, was already very self-conscious about my body. I grew up chubby and was made to know it, not just by family members and relatives, but also at school. Like, I grew up bigger and also the annoying kid that always raised their hand, and my mom also wouldn't let me shave my legs or my arms, and so it was just it was bad times, and my last name is Ho. Like, just imagine 6th grade, girls' locker room, not a good time. Anyway, my first negative comment was about my body and my weight and how, "Why are you so fat?" basically. And I was like, "Whoa, like I made this channel to teach. I never thought I had to be a model. I didn't think I had to be a fitness model. I was just
True.
teaching. Who cares what I look like?" But apparently, I've learned over the years that for fitness influencers, which again, at that time, what was even the word influencer? It didn't even exist yet. YouTubers were like barely just starting. But anyway, what I've learned over the years is that fitness influencers or creators, their bodies are their billboards for their programs.
Yeah.
Like whether people know or not that, they got plastic surgery or did whatever, like if they look a certain way and you want to subscribe to look that way, then you're going to follow them. And yeah, it's just interesting because I never thought that that's what this channel was ever going to be about. It was just about doing Pilates and working out at home. That's all it was. And so, of course, that comment really hurt. I was crying. And of course, that wasn't the only time it happened. Like, it happened like so many times, like over the past like decade of being online. It was always something, always like, why don't you have a six pack? Why is your butt so flat? Like, why do you have hip dips? Like, literally everything and anything that I already had an insecurity about was just here it is again in your face. And like
Yes.
what's been really interesting though is that ever since I took a hiatus from making fitness content, and this wasn't ever planned, but like around 2021, I switched my content from horizontal long form fitness videos to short form vertical about products and design, just because
Mhm.
I wanted to share with people what I was doing behind the scenes.
Right.
Because I've always been designing behind the scenes, whether or not that was the forefront of my content. So in 2021, I felt like, let me just do this for me. And the moment that I changed my content, immediately, not a single person has ever commented on my body ever again since 2021. But from 2009 to 2021, constant body shaming every single day.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting? And it wasn't until then that I realized, wow, I've been living in a really toxic environment for a really long time and just taking it. And I didn't need to take that. And unfortunately, it was the industry that did that because sure, once in a while there would be like comments from people saying stuff in the comment section, but there came a time when there were other fitness influencers making videos about me and saying that,
Oh my
oh,
gosh.
her workouts don't work anyway. Look at the way that she looks and all this kind of stuff. And like from these like big muscly men. And like it was like, you know, there was a drama time on YouTube when this happened. Then it happened again when TikTok became really big during the pandemic. It's just like these drama cycles happen every single time on every single platform. And it just tears you down. And like I said,
Absolutely.
especially when I already had an insecurity about my body.
I think people often objectify influencers and creators online, and they don't think any of their words or actions have consequences, as if it's just a pixel on the internet. I don't think there's a way to be right on the internet when you're talking about fitness and
No.
wellness and sharing even your journey. I
Yeah.
was never really telling anybody to, hey, you have to follow what I did. Yet I get all these comments. It's like, you're too skinny. Your face is still fat. Like, you got to lose more
Oh
fat.
my God.
For one person, I'm too skinny. For another,
Yeah.
they're like, you're too fat. And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, same.
there's
Same.
no way to live.
No, there's no way. And with fitness and nutrition online, unfortunately, it's so religious. Like
It is.
people want to push their way down your throat. And if you're not doing it their way, then you're doing it wrong. And I
Yeah.
just don't understand why we can't all just be okay with the fact that we are all different human beings with different DNA, with different medical needs, even, right? Different allergies, different intolerances. So, of course, what I do is going to be different than what you do at a baseline. But at the same time, my goals aren't your goals either. What if I don't want to look like that? Have you thought about that?
Exactly.
And yet they make everything into content. People love a controversy. They love a drama.
They do.
Yeah.
And I would assume, like, using your name in their videos
Oh,
would,
yeah.
like, blow it up.
Yeah. I mean, I remember there was a drama time on YouTube when creators, or whatever you want to call them, these like drama channels would just, as long as that influencer's or creator's name, YouTuber's name was in the title, it would be served up under like your own videos.
Oh,
And that's how they would monetize off of pretty much defaming you. And of course, people are going to click on that because they're like, what do you mean so-and-so did that? What are you talking about? And most of the time, it was just fake news. It was just lies. But what? People are going to watch it anyway because it's entertaining and they want to believe something that's not true. And then at the same time, if you respond to something like that, that becomes more content for this other person to create videos about.
Correct.
So you cannot do that. And that was right before my meetup was supposed to happen, right when my address was leaked. So I was like, this is a very real possibility that I could die.
Gosh.
Yeah. No, it's wild. And it's wild what people will do for money. They're so greedy, putting people's lives at risk. It's
At
crazy.
any detriment at any price to other people's well-being.
Because they don't care. Like it's literally a game for them.
That is wild.
Mm.
I think it just puts into perspective how much skin in the game you have to put in to build any type of brand, to put yourself out there, to put your name out there, and to create something for the world to judge. Because sometimes people take it way too personally, and then they go beyond borders, beyond what's like socially normal,
Mm-hmm.
and push their narratives onto you
Mm-hmm.
and causing harms that are irrevocable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think it's talked enough about what creators or just any entrepreneur has to endure when they put their names out there in front of the public. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm incredibly grateful that you did not give up. And I know it's not an easy choice, but you kept on showing up for that community. And I think everyone in that community, especially me, like feel sincere gratitude towards you just pouring your heart and courage into making this possible and making everyone else's life better, either through fitness or your apparel Popflex.
Mm. It was hard though, because a little bit after that time, or maybe during that time, I just felt like I really did feel like giving up. I just felt like, what was the point of everything, right? I'm not having fun. Like, and I just felt so exhausted, being torn down from the outside. And at the same time, there was toxicity on the team being torn down on the inside. And like
Inside too.
yes.
External and
Yes.
internal.
And then at the same time, Popflex obviously was not where it is now. And I just couldn't get the fit right. And as you know, as a woman who shops, if you don't get the fit right with your brand, how can you create trust? And so with every collection released, I was losing trust and losing sales because I just could not get the fit right. Like, and it was like, because I didn't go to fashion school. I got a degree in biology. I was supposed to be a doctor, like all pre-med, like all of that kind of stuff. And so I'm learning on the job. Of course, like I'm hiring technical designers to help me, but like still, like I'm learning. And like women's bodies, you can't just grade up and down mathematically. Like they change, the curves change in different ways. And so I was learning that. And unfortunately, as I was being torn down outside, inside, and the business was like kind of like what I felt like was like dying. I was like, what is the point of everything? I must like really suck as a CEO, as a creator. Like I was like, I suck at everything. I should just give up. And it was around this time and I was having panic attacks, like, and I had never had that before. I just really felt like, I don't know, I had lost myself.
Your
right?
body's in survival mode.
Yeah.
Does not feel safe.
Yeah.
Outside, online, or inside.
Right.
Within your own company.
Oh, for sure.
With the people who were supposed to support you and grow with you, were kind of turning against you.
Yeah. So, Sam said, give it 30 more days. And then if you still want to quit, then we'll quit. But you give it 30 more days. Something happens when you are at rock bottom and you know this is your last chance for survival, when you just try so hard to survive and it ends up working out. Because within those 30 days, the people who, honestly, we weren't serving each other. Okay, the people that sucked the energy out of me, they decided to leave, and that allowed opportunity for new people to come in that more matched the energy. And then around the same time, I was able to find a new manufacturer, and like at the same time, policy change was happening on YouTube, and like things just like ended up working out, and I was able to climb out of this hole and breathe for a second. And slowly we were able to work our way up again. But it was a really, really dark time when everything was going to end. I was ready to give it all up.
I'm getting shivers just like listening to the story. A, from how scary it must have felt, but B, like how resilient you were and how courageous you were. It really touches me because I feel like there are certain degrees of hard from the outside perspective. I don't think many people knew what you were actually going through when you meant it was a dark time.
No. And it's because I don't want to discuss internal team things online. That I'm not going to do that because that should be private. That should be dealt with in a respectful manner. And look, it really was more about these people in this room, in this group, like our energies just didn't match and we weren't on the same mission. And of course, I'm also a new manager. Look, when you grow up, you think you want to be a designer, an entrepreneur, leader. It is not the same thing as being a manager. I did not understand what that was. I didn't know how to hire. And it's not just about skills. It's about culture fit. It's about getting along with each other. Like, I didn't know that. I hired for skill. And when you just do that, it's not enough. You have to want to be around the people who surround you. You have to energize one another. And so I think it was good for everyone when what happened, right? The people who didn't fit left and new people came in. It just created the right environment for thriving and growth again. And I'm so happy with the team that we have today. What we have today, I did not even think a percentage of this would be manageable or possible back then.
Really?
Like, I didn't think that work could be like this. And I am just so grateful. But you know what? It takes time. It takes pain. It takes learning these lessons for me to be able to get where I am today. And unfortunately, you have to go through it to understand it.
That is so true.
Yeah.
I think with any type of business, whether that's building a content creation business or a CPG brand or like a fashion label, there are so many unknowns, and everything's beautiful and romantic from the outside where everyone's trying to get in. But until they're in, like, you don't know, oh, I don't know how to hire. I don't know how to train people.
Yeah.
I don't know how to spot the right talents.
Yeah. It's hard.
And I don't know how to take them up to the next level with me.
Yeah. And I mean, even these days, because now I have friends who run their own brands and have their own businesses. And it's really nice to talk to other founders because otherwise you feel really alone in like the problems that you're dealing with. And for sure, like there's so many similar issues that we are all having at the same time. And it's really important to talk about it. Otherwise you feel really crazy.
I bet.
We're always learning. Like no matter like how amazing you think someone's career is, someone's business is, everyone's always dealing with something.
There's always shit.
There's always something. Yeah.
There is always something. But having met your team in person at the Popflex pop-up in Venice 2 months ago,
Yeah.
like they are lovely. And to be able to like put something together and see how much the brand has grown, I am just so proud as a fan, as a member in the community, how far everything has grown. And it truly speaks volume that the brand stuck with its core value and it kept on giving, kept on growing, and kept on improving, like steering its way and becoming a leader in the fashion and athleisure space.
It's so crazy that we are where we are because I have really big dreams, but
Manifest them out
it
loud.
got bigger than I thought it would, faster than I thought it would. Like
Really?
with Taylor Swift wearing my Pirouette skirt in 2024, like
Mhm.
I thought like in my wildest dreams, one day maybe Taylor would wear one of my creations.
Oh my God.
But not in 2024. Like, so that really was just like, I was like, oh, I could die now. It's fine. Like, that's it.
Did it make all the pain and the struggles and the challenges worth it the moment you saw Taylor Swift wearing your skirt?
Look, I love Taylor. She's my favorite musician, singer, songwriter. I've been listening to her music since 2008. Like, I am like an OG, but the journey is the journey. Like,
Absolutely.
the fact that I'm still alive and here today, like, I guess that's worth it, right? And the fact that I have used that pain to teach me lessons so that I don't make those same mistakes or fall into those same, like, those pitfalls. Like, you know, like, I can spot things better. Like, I guess that's worth it. It's painful and I don't want to go through it again, but I don't think I would be the person I am today had I not gone through it. So it is what it is. Is it worth it? I don't know. I just went through it. I survived. And I'm grateful for that.
I love the honesty.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think the difference between wealth and money, this is kind of a tangent, but it's still related, is that who you become through the process, nobody can take that away from you.
Yeah.
And that is true wealth. Who
Yeah.
you became through the process of all these backlashes and all these, talk about dupes and like the kind of corporate games that these companies play, that is in another form bullying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the dupes. Look, in 2021, when I first started sketching the Pirouette score, for those of you who are just listening on the podcast, it is this mesh tiered score with shorts underneath and pockets, anti-camel toe, and has a wide waistband with a drawstring. I had never seen anything like this before, but I am also like, I'm a fitness girly, but I'm also like a romantic girly. So I want like the prettiest, most like graceful ballerina type things, but also I want function at the same time. So this score embodied that. And so in 2021, when I sketched this, I told my husband, Sam, who's also COO, I told him, Shein's going to take this. And at this moment in 2021, Shein had not taken anything yet, but I was like, they're going to take this one.
It started in 2020.
So in 2021, I sketched it. We released it in 2022 and I make a video about it. It goes viral. It sells out. And then 3 months later, guess who copies it? It was Shein. Not only did they copy the entire design, They even copied how we styled our models, how they were posing. I mean, it was dead on. I knew they saw our thing and they made it. So I make a whole post about it because this is the first time this has happened to me. And I'm just like, I'm so upset. I'm so angry. I'm so sad. And Shein ends up reaching out to me on DMs and they're like,
DM.
yes. So they're like, hey, our US president of Shein wants to talk to you about this. And I was like, okay, I'm open to that. But first, you got to take this product down. And also, what's the agenda that you want to talk about? And they sent over some agenda about like sustainability and like, and I was like, no. First of all, this is the agenda we're going to talk about. And this also includes you will never do this to me again. And you're going to tell me how you're not going to do this to other independent designers. Then I'll take the call. So they agree. And I get on a Zoom with the US president of Shein, and he says that the reason why I'm reaching out to you is because my daughter, when she found out that this happened to you, she came screaming into my room saying, Dad, why did you do this to Cassey? And so I have so much gratefulness to his daughter for alerting him of the situation. Otherwise, Shein would not reach out to me. Why would they reach out to me? So anyway, we talked. He didn't say sorry, but he tried to give me ideas for how Shein would not rip me off the next time, including...
The next time?
Yeah, in the future, including submit your design to us before so that we can tell the buyers and designers not to copy it. Excuse me, what? And then also on top of that, he was like, by the way, let's do a partnership. And I was like, no and no, but just please don't do this again. So, you know, we you're now. Even the picture is shocked. We end the call, whatever. I didn't even ask for compensation. I was just taken off the website, okay? So I take it off. Literally 3 months later, the Pirouette skirt is on their website again in a new color Pantone that we just released. So it's not just like they're literally just looking at Popflex and just literally copying. So I make another post, but this time they're not really talking to me anymore. They're sick of me at this time. And since then, multiple infringements have happened on Shein, not just of the Pirouette skirt, but like so many other designs, like straight up, they just took it from the website.
You know how sometimes you get hired for a job that you didn't even know that you applied for? All your hard work ends up helping this company make over $32 billion a year, except they're paying you a zero-figure salary.
Anyway, so during this whole process of me just being like, it did inspire me to protect my work with a design patent. And so I had never applied for one before, but I heard it was really hard. And it was really hard. It's really hard because you have to design something that's novel, that's never been done before. And so after doing an intense application process, research, like all this stuff, there's like so many things involved. And it's also extremely expensive.
I bet.
Yeah. A year later, because I did something called the Rocket Docket, where you pay extra to hopefully to get your application through the line like a little bit faster. But it was worth it for me because I was like, we got to get like Shein and everyone to stop.
Yeah.
So I was granted my first ever patent on my birthday on January 16th, 2024,
Okay.
which was crazy because 16 is my favorite number and just magical things have happened on the 16th. So I was like, oh my God, this is such a sign. That felt like such a win, like such a win. I made a whole video where I'm like stabbing a cake that says Shein and like this fake blood comes out because it was like
I think I saw it.
Yeah. So that was like based off of Taylor Swift's. Oh my God, which one was it? Oh my God, blank space. Why did I forget? I drew a blank. Okay, blank space. Of course, where she's stabbing the cake, right? So that was my thing that I was doing to the song Karma. I was just like mixing all sorts of Taylor stuff. So anyway, that happened in January, and I was so happy. And then literally a few months later, that's when Taylor Swift ends up wearing the Pirouette skirt, which was like, wait, like, did the universe align all of this? Like, this is crazy. So April 19th, 2024 is when she wore the lilac short skirt that fits me like skin that everyone thinks like that's what the lyric is about. I don't know, but I'll take it. And I died. I literally died when that happened. I feel like me and Taylor have this like invisible string with each other. And I'm so inspired by her as an artist, but also as a businesswoman. Just the way she tackles her problems are so creative and just like so strong.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She has gone through so much. as well.
So
And
much. She got all her work back, which is so cool just recently. So I'm very
just
happy
like
for her.
you.
I'm still dealing with a lot of dupes because after the Taylor thing, the dupes went like this,
I
like
mean, yeah.
insane. Because now, like this skirt that already was viral in like my world, like
Yes.
now became, can I say global? Like on a global level, like
Absolutely.
extremely viral
I
because
think
like
everyone on Alibaba is probably
yeah,
copying.
exactly. Yes. Oh, yes. So it's like after that, the dupes went absolutely insane. Of course, having the patent helped a little bit for platforms like Amazon, TikTok Shop, like Alibaba. Like you have to fill out a form, it takes forever. And then if they feel like taking it down, they'll take it down, but it's not guaranteed. Like this whole process is very messy, but I should just give you the stats. So since the beginning, when Shein first copied the first Pure Wet Skirt,
Mhm.
there's been 2,065 different infringements of Popflex designs. 2,065 with an uptick absolutely insane just over the past half year. It's been like this, but right now, like we're right here, because what is interesting that nobody talks about is that it first starts out with the digital shops, like the Sheins, the things like that, right?
Uh-huh.
TikTok shops. Then what has happened over the past few months is that now the big players are in because their development timeline takes a little bit longer than super crazy fast fashion. I honestly don't even know how Shein does it. I literally have no idea. I don't know who's dying to make this happen. But now we have the big corporate retailers, and I'm talking about the Nordstroms, the Kohl's, the JCPenney's, Marshalls, TJ Maxx. And so the big multi-billion-dollar corporations, multi-million, whatever, I don't know how much they're making, but they're way bigger than me. Now they're duping my stuff. It's just like that's how it works. It's so crazy. And the crazy part is that I wasn't prepared for is that when you pay for a design patent or just a patent from the USPTO in general, I'm under the impression as an innovator, as an inventor, that I'm now protected. I'm good, right? Like this is law. We all
Mhm.
follow the law. We're in America, right?
Exactly.
Like when I'm dealing with Alibaba, like crazy, right? But like America, we should all follow the same rules, right? Well, turns out that there is no help from the government to help enforce your patent. So what ends up happening is it's lawyer versus lawyer. And obviously, my budget for legal is not the same as Nordstrom's budget for legal. And it ends up becoming a game of who can pay their lawyers for longer as we fight. And so this is an ongoing thing that is now happening. I'm literally David versus Goliath, but there are multiple Goliaths and one David, and they have a lot of money, way more money than I have. So how am I supposed to win this war? So I'm literally in the middle of this right now. I don't have any resolution, but I won't shut up about it.
Do not.
I will never shut up
I
about
will
it.
not shut up about it.
No, I would not shut up about it. And you know what? Some of those lawyers have sent letters pretty much saying that if I continue to talk about this, they're going to take legal action against me. Like they're going to force me to take down my videos.
For stealing your design in
Right.
the first place.
Right. Go ahead and say what you want to say, but I'm going to speak even louder now.
Absolutely.
Because you pissed me off. Like, it could have been so easy. When my Pure Wet Skirt dupe was at Nordstrom Rack, I made a video and I said, hey, let's turn this into an enemies to lovers arc, okay? I'm gonna give you a second chance. Let's make this right. If I were them, tell your buyer to make a small wholesale order, okay? Put it in a couple stores, whatever. Have the Blogilates fans, the Popflex fans, like flood your store. Not only do you look like a better person, okay?
Mhm.
Fans are happy, customers are happy, I'm happy. And that would have been a percentage of what you would have had to pay your lawyers. Because at this point, we have now dragged this on for months. What are we doing? This could have been so easy. And yet nobody reached out to me via DM. Like, and I was tagging, like, and the other brand that was involved, Gotex, who was the one manufacturing the skirt, they turned off their comments so that fans couldn't even comment on their stuff. Like,
wow.
I mean, I was watching this whole thing go down and everybody was just acting like ostrich with their head in the sand. Like, this is just gonna go away. But guess what? I'm still talking about it. So
Please do.
you tell me to shut up and I'll talk even louder. Don't even try because it's not just about me. It's about all the other independent designers out there, all the other small
Exactly.
businesses who don't have a platform. I'm very lucky to have a platform, to have an audience. So I'm going to speak out about this because if I win for me, then I win for all of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm here to support you through and through. Like, I don't think the story is talked about enough. I knew about the Shein copying, but to think that these like very big corporations, billions and billions, would be so petty to not only take your design, but threatened to sue you for
Mhm.
taking your design is
Uh-huh.
absolutely atrocious.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm about to make a video about that because they pretty much were threatening to silence me. And that got me so upset that I'm like, you know what? How about I just talk about what you told me to do? Yeah, how about that? How about I don't silence at all?
When you share that, I'm gonna share it for you.
I'm gonna share so hard. Yeah.
Wow. I see the fighter in you, and
Yeah.
it's both, like, heartbreaking to me how, like, why does anybody have to go through this? But I'm also just, like, so excited for you to win that fight because you're truly pushing through for all creatives, for all artists who don't have a voice or platform, and you're showing up not just to solve a problem for the fitness community, for the fashion community anymore. You're trying to bring respect back to innovation.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I think the world treats artists and creatives just not with respect. I mean, you can see that happening with AI. How does AI art even exist? It takes from prior art from before. Without prior artists, we would have nothing here. And yet, we don't see a model where if you type in, for example, I have many artist friends. Let's say they say like, okay, draw this in the style of Cassey or whatever. How come the artist doesn't get a kickback or royalty? I mean, you're clearly this machine is inspired by something I think would be okay if people weren't so greedy and treating artists like they're just doing work for free because it's like fun or something. It's like, no, that's the way we make a living.
Mm.
And so I think there is a lot of room for improvement in the AI space. And I'm just like, I'm not happy with anything that's happening there. Because even like for myself, the dupes, right? They're not just duping the item.
Mhm.
They're stealing pictures from our website, but it goes even farther. They steal pictures and then they use AI to manipulate the photo so that it not only changes the model's face, sometimes they change her literal ethnicity. Like, it's weird. I've had my ethnicity changed in a video format. They steal my content and then change my face to like a white girl face or something like that and put it in their listing. Like, it gets so crazy. And then when it comes to, hey, Amazon, like, can you please take this down? It's in copyright infringement. They're like, oh, but those are like two different people. It's like, no, it's literally me, but they AI'd my face. Like, don't you understand? And so right now is just, of course, law takes forever to catch up with technology.
Right.
But we're super in this really weird Wild West with AI, artistry, design, all this kind of stuff. Like it's really bad. And like something else that people don't talk about is that when it comes to consumers getting duped, sometimes I don't even blame them. Of course, there's people who like dupe on purpose, like the dupe influencers. I'm just like, girl, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
What is something that the internet might not know about you yet?
He's like, why are you here?
Camel toe at the gym are a result of brands trying to save money.
Yeah.
Hey guys, really quickly, because of the low attention span on YouTube, this is only part of the podcast. The full dive will be available for intentional members who want to take the time to learn and really grow. Part 2 will also be available on Spotify and Apple in a few weeks. But if you do have the attention span and want to learn and watch the full episode, it is also on the members page. I hope you learned a thing or two that you can apply to your personal or business brand. And if you like this episode, check out these 2 videos I made just for you. I don't know how you pulled through, but I'm so thankful that you're here.
Aww.
Yeah, and you're still showing up.
You just have to. When you have to survive, you just do it. You figure it out.
Not just survive. I want to see you thrive, and I'm going to support you all the way.
Aw, thank you, Zoe. Thank you.
Yeah. Where can everybody find you?
I'm at Blogilates everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And there is Popflex.
Oh, that's right. And there's popflex.com if you guys want to check out some of the stuff on the website. Thank you for
Awesome.
having me.
Thank you so much.
Yay.